Yeah. Hello, everyone. Now we are going to see the goals of psychology. So, what does the psychology? We have seen earlier definition of psychology. What is the scope of psychology? Now we are going to see the goals of psychology. So, what do psychologists hope to achieve? So, every psychological aspect or every psychologist ultimate goal is to benefit the humanity. So, no doubt in that one. So, we as a psychologist will work only to meet a ultimate goal of to benefit a humanity. So specifically, we can say the goals of a science of a psychology are to describe, understand, predict, and control the behaviors. So how do we do that one? That is, so each process we will try to discuss in detail. That is a description, understanding, prediction, and control. So there are four goals of a psychologist. One is a description, understanding, prediction, and control. So what does that means about the description? So that is nothing but answering psychological question often begins with a careful description of behavior. So how do you describe a behavior of your opposite person? A clear description needs to be there. So description or naming and classifying is typically based on a making a what we say detailed record of a scientific observation that is comes under the description. But usually what happens in the description goal, so it doesn't explain anything, does it? No, right? So usually knowledge begins with accurate description only. But this description fails to answer an important question called why. Why question. So it will not answer a why question, only a description about the behavior will be provided. So why that person, this person is behaving like this. So that comes under the description. But why answer? Why he is behaving like that? That doesn't comes under the description answer. Description. So that's why. So it will not address the why answer, why question. Okay, only it will describe the nature. It will describe the behavior. So now, why do more women attempt suicide? For example, let us take a case studies. Why do more women attempt suicide compared to the male? And why do more men compete it? Or why are people who are more aggressive when they are uncomfortable? So all these are description, discover why answers, why questions. So these questions cannot be answered in the description category, description goal. So something like say a general example, why are bystanders often unwilling to help in an emergency situation? Somebody has been met with an accident, but nobody will immediately help. Nobody will immediately rush up. Maybe they are feared of the state laws. Maybe they are feared of the police and everything. That's why they will not help in an emergency situation. Why do they will do? So that will not be addressed in the description. Only it will describe people are undergoing this emergency situation, how they are reacting. So that will be described in the description section. But it will not address the important question that is called as a why. So now the second goal is a understanding. So we have met just a psychological second goal that is called as a understanding. We can say that is understanding usually means we can state the cause of behavior, why that has been happened. That is addressed in the understanding goal. That is the second goal of our psychology. So, for example, research on bystanders' apathy. Okay, bystanders are standing without any apathy towards the other people who is in emergency. That reveals that people often fail to help when other helpers are nearby. Usually what our belief will tell, so if more number of bystanders are there, if some emergency situation has been happened, so somebody will come and help. But that's not the case. Why? Because so people will think that that responsibility will be lied with other people. If more number of people are there, that will not guarantee the help. Why? Because why? That's we have to think about that one. Because there is a diffusion of responsibility. Means that person, the other person will share the responsibility. The other person will call the ambulance. The other person will just come and help like that. People will think other and other, but they will not go and help by themselves. That is called as a diffusion of responsibility. So because of this diffusion of responsibility, the chances, the probability of getting a help by the people who has met the emergency is very, very limited. Now we can experience or explain an perplexing problem. This is called as a perplexing problem. Somebody will help, somebody will do, we will delegate. Obviously, we will try to delegate work to others. So we will show the bossism. We will not want to work. So that comes under the important goal is called as an understanding goal. The next one is a important goal which is called as a prediction. So what does that mean? The third goal of prediction. So is nothing but an ability to forecast behavior very accurately is called as a prediction. So we can say this. Notice that our explanation of bystanders apathy makes a prediction about the chances of getting a help. Okay, if you are predicting that one, if the more bystanders are there, okay, we can get a help. We can forecast that we can get a help. But only when we conduct a research, then only we can know that there is a perplexing problem is there. That is the diffusion of responsibility is there. So there is no guarantee that if the more the number of bystanders are there, you will get a chances of getting or probability of getting a help is very, very low. Through research only we can adopt that one. So accurately we should predict that one. Psychologists can grow, can forecast the future, can forecast the behavior like that. The next goal, important goal is a control. Okay, the fourth goal is a control. Now we have seen a description, explanation, or understanding, prediction. All this seems to be reasonable. But what does that means about the control? Control is nowhere it is encouraged. Why it is encouraged in the psychology? So control means it is nothing but a keys of freedom. Okay, somebody is limiting our freedom. So it is opposite to the freedom. Control means why we have to control our behavior. But please do remember here, control in the psychology is very, very, very much accepted. Why? Okay, why? It is nothing but, for example, a case study, let us take. If you are a clinical psychologist who helps to overcome a terrible fear of a spider to your client, so that you are controlling his behavior whenever he is looking at the spider, okay, terrible spider. So you're helping him to overcome that fear by controlling his behavior. Under such conditions, the control is good only. Okay, it is not keysing your freedom, no. So that's why. So this is control is also very, very important. Like for example, if you are a teacher, okay, if you are suggesting changes in some classroom that helps the slow learners or the slow learners to better their performance. So under such conditions, though you are controlling, but for the benefit of the student only, you are doing that one. So that's why the control is very, very much encouraged in the psychology. Then control is also involved in the designing of an automobile. If you are not controlling in designing something automobile parts or spare parts or some drivers, so without control, it will just come into some other shape, something like that, other things. So if you are controlling for a good, then that is very much encouraged, that lowers the fatal errors. So that's why in the psychology, control is also an one type of sustainable goal, we can say. So clearly psychology control must be used wisely and also humanly. We have to adopt that one. We can say the psychology's goals are a natural outgrowth of our desire to understand behavior. So these goals doesn't mean they are from external. They are from our desire to understand behaviors only. They have come up. So popularly, they will just address all the issues which are undergoing through using the four different goals. That is a description, then understanding, then prediction, and then control over our behavior. Okay. Thank you very much. So this one, please do subscribe.